Hey, black women in New York City. I just saw Ebony Williams. I really like Ebony Williams. I don't care if y'all talk about her. I like Ebony Williams. I've read her books. I like my girl. She's a New York City resident, y'all. She had her baby girl. The baby girl's name is Liberty. And next Saturday, black women in New York City, especially my Harlem women, there's going to be a Black Family Wellness Expo. I'm gonna put a video up of the clip that I took of the news reel from New York One, and it gives you the website, right? Because I can't remember it off the top of my head. I just seen it and totally forgot it. But go on that website and find out the dates for next Saturday. Okay, so that's gonna be what, today's the 8th, so I guess that's the 16th, right? Or the 15th, I don't know, but it's next Saturday exactly, right? So they're gonna have this expo about prenatal care, doula care, midwife care, advocacy for black women in hospitals in New York City. They're going to talk about the alarming rates of how we die during delivery and our children, how to avoid C-sections, and how to know your rights when it comes to C-sections and natural delivery. I want to also add I want you guys who go to this expo to have them eventually put a spot on this expo's panel to talk about VBACs. VBACs are vaginal delivery, vaginal VBAC, so it's vaginal birth after cesarean. My mind always translates shit to something else, right? So I paraphrased it in my head. But it's called a V like Victor, dash, B like boy, A like Adam, C like cat. VBAC. It's vaginal birth after cesarean. And the reason you want them to start including this VBAC into everything that has to do with wellness, healthcare when it comes to delivery, the safety of delivery, and your options in being pregnant, and all of the delivery options and the healthcare that goes with it, and the individual care, it's important, because the more we talk about VBAC, the more women will become more safe in the hospital. Because in order for doctors to be a doctor that performs a vaginal delivery after a woman has already had a cesarean, that doctor has to be recognized by the board of physicians, right? They have to be affiliated with a hospital that actually practices vaginal deliveries, vaginal births after cesareans. And right now, there are very few hospitals that do that, and very few doctors that participate in that procedure, because there's so much money in making women have unnecessary cesareans. Now, I know you're going to say, there are reasons for cesareans. Yes, there are. But the majority of the time, that's just doctors being greedy, wanting to speed up a delivery because they about to go on vacation. Because literally that happened to my daughter when my daughter had her first child. She was young. She was like 23. And she didn't need it. And because I wasn't aware of all of these things at the time, I literally allowed my daughter's life to be put in jeopardy, because she's a young girl having her first baby, and they cut the baby out of her when they could have just took the time to allow her body to naturally go through the labor period and have her child naturally. So after the first delivery, with the cesarean being so traumatic, that's when we started like really looking into all of the options for delivery, birth, and pregnancy care. And we found all these doctors. Now, I'm going to honestly tell you, okay, a lot of these doctors and a lot of these visits we went to, I had to pay out of my own pocket, right? So keep that in mind. That is always the case wherever you live. Wherever and whenever there's a procedure or an option that is healthier for you, they are not going to let the hospitals and this government, more times than not, going to allow that to be something that is insurance approved and available to everyone, because they make money off of people being sick, people dying in this country. That is how they make the majority of their money. So when you start looking into these programs, understand that a lot of this stuff you have to pay for by yourself, but they have some places have sliding scale payments where you pay based off your income, or you could get a discount, or you could partner the payments with some of your other insurance. And then there are other insurance plans that you could buy privately where it will cover the cost where your basic insurance for healthcare does not. So when you talk to these people, speak to them about all the other forms of payment they accept. And I mean every other form of payment besides them talking bullshit about credit or loans and all. Don't ever get involved in that. But there are other ways to do this, because when I did this, I had like health insurance from my job. I had health insurance from my ex-husband that also helped. And then I literally bought a private plan back then when, and this is years ago because my grandson is now 13, right? So when I bought this private plan, it was just like I went online on Google, and in New York City, whatever plans that were private back then that actually covered the procedures that she needed to have in order to find those doctors, that's the plan that I paid for. And it wasn't that expensive. It was like $700 a month. So what I did was I broke it up into two partial payments for the month. So $350 and $350, so that it would not kill me like in one chunk. And that's the way I did it. And it was only one individual plan for her to be cared for during that pregnancy. Now, after she had the baby, then all of the other insurance companies would kick in, and we still had to pay a bill out of pocket, but it wasn't that much. It was like only like $3,000. And like I said, he's 13. So things have changed since then. So don't be scared by the information I gave you, because today you have way more different options. There are more things covered under basic insurance, and private insurances can overlap with all these other programs. And Medicaid is number one. All right. And Medicaid covers a lot of this stuff now when it didn't 13 years ago. So look into this. And Black women, I really need y'all to be vigilant about your own health care. Like, I don't need you to be out here willy-nilly like, oh, believing everything the doctor says and these nurses. Because number one, all these white nurses are very, very racist. They like to see you in pain, and they're not there to help you. And there are a lot of Black ones, unfortunately, like that too. Especially a lot of the Black women from different countries. They really have fucked up opinions about Black women. And I'm being completely honest with y'all, because this is what we experienced, right? So when you start doing your research now, and you go to all these type of different expos and things like that, you will find different organizations and different contact people and different liaisons, right? That will put you up on organizations and associations and different things that are going on in your area that you never knew were even there, to help you have the healthiest pregnancy and the healthiest delivery possible. Now, don't get me wrong. Even though I'm giving you this information because I saw my girl Ebony going to be on this expo, and it is for Black women's health, do not think that I'm advocating for you to be out here with these Black males getting pregnant and having babies, because that's not the case. But for my sisters who are pregnant, they need the best care possible. All the rest of my Black women who are not pregnant, don't get pregnant. And stay away from sex completely, especially during this goddamn administration of this Trump president who wants to become a dictator and who's trying to take away all the body rights of women. Don't do it, because you're just going to be putting yourself in a fucked up position, okay? And putting yourself in a real possibility of being killed over some dick. Don't do that, y'all. So I'm just giving out the information about what I saw, but I am in no way changing my stand on my position or my opinion about being in relationships with Black males, having sex with them, and having children with them. I still think that is a no-go. Do not do that. I think 4B is the best move for us, especially until we get control of this country again and get these insane people out of office. Remember, Every 2 years, they're starting in 2026, is going to be an election. Get up off the couch, get out the house, and vote Democrat. You need to get rid of all these Republicans who are seated today, because these are the people voting your rights away over your body, taking away Black history, taking away DEIA. Understand? The whole acronym for the law is diversity, equity, inclusion, and what does the A stand for again? Oh my God. Accommodations. Because the reason they always say DEI is because they try to make it about Black people only when it's not. Race is one aspect of it. There's also disability, there's age, there's LGBT, right? There's a whole bunch of other stuff. It's all the people in this country besides being white males. Okay? That's what DEIA stands for. So remember, they play psychological games, and you have to be aware of that. So when you have an administration playing with people and playing and race baiting and fear mongering, you have to keep your head about you, and you have to be well versed in everything going on around you to make sure your life gets better and does not get worse based off of their hate towards you. So go on out, right, to this wellness health expo next Saturday. Watch the other clip that I put up from New York One to get the actual website address. Go on there, register, do whatever you have to do. Go talk to those women. Put them in your phone. Go on the websites to their organizations or associations and find out more about them. If there's things you would like to suggest to them that they could do to further help Black women, speak about it. Be about it. That's how you get change, and that's how you bring things into existence that we need to help us, okay? Also remember, guys, that when it starts to get hard in New York City and you need stuff, don't forget to always go on newyorkcares.org. That is a website where you could get coats, get food, get all different types of referrals to things. Don't forget. And even though you don't have a case of abuse, if you need things like furniture, child care, preventative care to help you in bad situations when you're a single mom and you are economically challenged, ACS, right? Also, the Administration for Administration for Children's Services, sorry. They have all types of programs to help people in their preventative unit with anything that is going on in the household that they cover. Like they have furniture grants, they have the ability to help you move somewhere else safe, they have counseling, they have workers that could come into your house and help you out with other agencies throughout the city to get you some services those agencies provide. They have a lot. And if you're interested, you just go on to the main website for New York City, put a / in any other agency's name or acronym of the name of the agency afterwards. So if you were looking for ACS, right, you would put nyc.gov /ACS. If you need anything from welfare, it would be nyc.gov /HRA. If you needed anything from housing, or NYCHA, if you're looking for a house, right? So what is it? HPD, it would be nyc.gov /HPD. If it's NYCHA, it would be nyc.gov /NYCHA, New York City Housing Authority. And if you want to just find out anything or any service in New York City that you're not aware of, but you need more information on, you go to nyc.gov /311. The website for all of New York City will come up. Only New York City. It doesn't come up for New York State, but only New York City. And then you search. There's a search rectangle that will come up. You put any keyword in there, and everything about that particular situation or interest or inquiry will come up on pages of information, and that is another way you can help yourself. Black women who are pregnant, there is also a nonprofit organization in Brooklyn called the Bridge Fund. They have like a universal income program for pregnant women. I do not know what the standard is or the criteria to get into the program, but what you want to do is Google the Bridge Fund, and then either call them or email them or go on their website and fill out an application for additional income for your household. All right, these are some of the programs that it was some, I forget the Asian man who was running for president, but he tried to make these universal income programs nationwide, right? That's another thing, y'all, in New York City, both upstate and downstate, wherever you live in your area, search out universal income programs for wherever you live, and you might be surprised. I know there are like 2 or 3 upstate, and there should be some here in New York City, but look into it. And if they are, you fill out the application for it and wait to see if you qualify. That way you get another like $500 to $1,000 a month in your household of income to help with everyday living, bills, and childcare. Okay, y'all be well. And every now and then, right, just do like a Google search of women's organizations or women's associations that work with whatever it is you need. Like if you need employment, they have them. If you need coats for your children, they have it. You need food, they have it. You need transportation, they have it. Also, don't forget to look on the unemployment website for your state, because they have all kind of programs there, from free computers to getting single mothers minivans to get to and from work. They have training. They're training with the unemployment office. Department of Labor also is tied into Google certificates. So there are some programs you could take for free that are on Google certificate and Coursera and etc., where you don't have to pay monthly. You get a waiver from the Department of Labor and you get the training for free. Don't forget, women, that if you're interested in being a bus driver, a truck driver, Department of Labor has those programs for you for free. Do it. Do whatever you have to do to increase your take-home pay and to make sure you increase or improve your independence. Because the last thing you need in a patriarchy full of misogyny is to be reliant on any man to take care of your bills, to provide you housing, and to take care of you and your children. That is always a no-no. Which is why I'm always speaking out against Shira, because even though y'all think that I'm trying to be a hater, I'm really thinking about your best interest, because I was one of these young girls that listened to stupid women like that. And I literally got married at 18 to an older man, and I went through hell. He was not no poor Dusty. He was exactly the shit she's talking about. And there are many older black women that live that life. And when we are literally out here telling you that a lot of these people online are giving and feeding you bullshit just to get paid from these websites, sorry, not websites, from these apps, that is exactly what the fuck it is. Because I make videos, I try to inform you, but I have never asked you for a fucking dime. And I don't get paid off this shit because my channel gets flagged too fucking much. But you have to understand that the majority of people on here are mostly on here trying to exploit you for money. So when you do have the few people like me and others that are on here actually coming from the fucking heart and soul, take heed of our warning. Because it doesn't take anything from me to tell you something that is good for you and to actually warn you. Because if you haven't noticed, there's an uptake in black femicide in this country. I was just watching New York One. There was a black woman, what do you call them? Afro-Hispanic woman. That Latina shit is too much with me. Hispanics don't speak Latin. And Latin has always been a language, never a place, okay? So, Hispanic. So anyway, she got murdered by her boyfriend this week. She had 2 kids with this dude. He killed her and stuffed her in a suitcase. This has been going on for the majority of the week in New York. And she was the only one to make major news. The rest of them have been in our community newspapers and by word of mouth. This is not a fucking game, black women. When us older black women are telling you, stop listening to the bullshit of the sugar daddies, selling yourself to get rich to a couple of niggas that got a few dollars, you need to listen to us. We have been in this life long enough to give you what you need to help yourself. And I'm not no hating ass old woman who's hating on your youth or giving a fuck about fucking black males. I don't give a fuck about that. So when I'm telling you things, I'm telling you because I generally feel like the information I'm giving you is going to be beneficial. It's up to you to listen or not. Because I don't want you to have to live through the things I have lived through and other black women. Because that shit was painful as hell. Painful. I'm talking, I got married 18. I lived currently when I got married in New York. I was living in the Bronx at the time. This man moved me all the way to Oregon, Portland, Oregon, where I, being a young girl, never have left my people's house before, right? Being on my own, completely isolated from my family, began to experience DV, all types of horrific things that I had never been experienced with or had in my life since this dude. This is what they do. So when we're telling you, stop thinking that when black women are telling you, we're really looking out for your best interest, stop dealing with these dudes, we mean that shit. Okay? I don't secretly have a black male boyfriend or husband. I don't fuck with them. So there is no agenda behind what I'm telling you. This is coming purely from my heart and soul. I want you to be safe. I feel you deserve to have a life where you are loved and you feel loved. Not to be living underneath some threat or somebody constantly degrading you because they got fucking problems with themselves. Start next week if you're here, next Saturday, with your health. The week after that, go on the journey to improve and increase your mind health. And if you suffer from any ailment, the next week after that, deal with that. I just seen a video online of a black woman and her husband who suffered from heart disease, right? They were told all types of shit from the doctor, like it was inevitable. They was checking out, right? I just seen her and her husband do a 5K run today for the first time after they trained for a long time. Nothing is impossible once you put your mind, heart, and soul to it, okay? You deserve happiness, black women. But I want you to know happiness does not come from a black male being in your life, being your husband, your boyfriend, or being somebody you think you need to validate you. That's the message I came to give. Come to give. Have a good day.